Summer sunshine and high-speed action? This is AquaX. Welcome to Gosport for round 2 of the AquaX Championship, where for the second year in a row, the fans have flocked to Stokes Bay for a day of family fun and to have the best seats in the house to watch all of the racing action. But it was only a few short weeks ago that this 2015 season started in Scarborough, with the overall winners of the weekend showing their dominance in their class by each winning all 3 of their races, picking up a maximum 60 points. So it's looking set to be an exciting and action-packed weekend once again. So here's Georgie Barrett with the lowdown.
Thanks, Kev. Once again, the racing will feature over 40 riders in the usual 3 sit-down jet skiing classes, the 200s, the 250s and the 300s. In addition, the stand-up jet ski class is looking stronger than ever. This safe and exciting class is open to both males and females over the age of 14, and there's plenty of competition this weekend for that podium position. You're competing in the ski class this weekend. How long have you been doing this for?
I started jet skiing in 2013, so this is my 3rd full year racing. I started on closed course racing, which is a bit different, and then this is my 1st year doing AquaX on the sea.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And how did you find it in Scarborough?
It's different to what I'm used to, different conditions, but it was really good.
Are you excited about getting out there today?
Yeah, it should be a good weekend and hopefully good results.
So Harry, this is your stand-up jet ski. Are you looking forward to the racing this weekend?
Really excited. I had a really good round last in Scarborough,
Yeah.
and I won that in the OHS. I'm hoping to get another win this weekend.
How did you get into this in the first place?
Well, I followed my dad and brother who raced in the British Championship, and obviously seeing them do really well made me want to race. And then I came down to Cardiff last year and did pretty well, so I stuck to it. It's not just about the winning; it's about enjoying it, and it is a really enjoyable sport. It's unique, and it's a cool thing to say to like people around who haven't done it. And I'd definitely say get on one and try it.
So this is Harry's dad, Steve. Did you think that this ski class is a really good thing for beginners to get involved in?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, at the end of the day, it's sort of like out-of-the-box racing, really, so it's really cheap. The kids can just turn up and race and be competitive. It's brilliant to see as well. And it's very safe as well. You know, the safety crews here are absolutely fantastic. The riders are very respectful of the kids and stuff. And yeah, it's really good for the kids.
I have to say, it's so nice to see a girl in this ski class. Have you got like fellow friends? You get on with everyone really well?
Yeah, all the people do it really nice, and just nice to it's quite a social thing. It's nice to do that. Yeah, it's a really good thing to do. I think get a bit more confidence on it as well. Yeah, I agree. Enjoy it.
So as you can see, the fans have really packed out Stokes Bay to watch both the ski and sit-down classes, with all the action taking place just offshore. So let's take a little closer look at what course the riders will be taking on.
So that's the course, and here's what some of the riders had to say ahead of the weekend when Georgie caught up with them earlier.
Phil, we're in Gosport. How are you feeling about today?
Yeah, really good. Glad to be back here. This was one of our favourite rounds last year, so as you can see, the people come out in abundance here. So yeah, glad to be back here.
How are you thinking the conditions are looking out there?
Sun's out, the wind's blowing. It looks Kawasaki territory at the minute, and I think anyone on green today. Obviously Russell Marmon on the 666, he's going to be fast. Joe Harvey, Chris Leach, yeah, they're all fast riders on good boats.
Dave, you're about to go on for the first race at Gosport. How are you feeling?
Looking forward to it. Pressure's on a little bit, obviously as a result of my Scarborough result. I'm the one to chase basically in my class, so I can only go down, everybody else can pick up.
Have you tweaked it at all since Scarborough?
Just adjustment on the way it handles a little bit, just to see if I can get a little bit more speed out of it.
So the helmets are on, the jet skis are heading into the water. It seems that everyone's really excited about Gosport's racecourse. So let the first race begin.
Conditions are certainly choppy around the Solent as they get underway. That looks like Russell Marmon on treble 6 that is leading them around the boys. The conditions will weaken the riders quicker than if they were racing on a flat surface. It's a fast and furious start and a three-way fight ensuing for second place. 64 is Joseph Harvey on the Ultra 310. Coming into view is Chris Leach, number 50. He is third in the overall standings coming into this weekend. And that is Russell Marmon, second in the 300 Championship. And he's got Chris Leach right behind him. Marmon tight, Leach going wide. The man leading the 200 Championship is Adrian Wilson. Chris Leach still looking strong, while some of the others already beginning to fade because of the choppy, challenging conditions. Looking up at Adrian Wilson as he's made to work very, very hard. Leach looks as if he is pulling away from his rival. 83, that's Damien Evans, one of the top competitors in the 250 class. Back with Wilson, who won all 3 heats in Scarborough. Joseph Harvey on 64 is another of the frontrunners in the 300 class. Checkered flag is out to greet Chris Leach for his first win of the season in what were somewhat challenging conditions. Dave Lee takes the spoils in the 200 class, while it's Richard Rowe who triumphs in 250. .300 series leader Phil Pope is beaten for the first time this season. He finishes third behind Russell Marmon in second, and Chris Leach, who claims first. The green flag gets the second heat of the Gosport Grand Prix of the Sea underway for the P1 AquaX races. Conditions still challenging as Chris Leach gets on the power as he looks to pass championship rivals Russell Marmon and Phil Pope. The choppy surface making for some spectacular action as the riders grab some big air across the Solent. .64 Joseph Harvey is looking as if he really is enjoying the conditions. Phil Pope began the season with a bang in the opening round in Scarborough when he won every heat in the relatively calmer waters. Adrian Wilson providing the pictures. Aisha Rensing finished in 8th place in the opening heat here at Gosport. 133 is Richard Rowe, Heat 1 winner in 250 and leading this class again in Heat 2. That's Phil Pope, and you can see the impact on his arms as he powers and guides his craft around this course. The sea may be choppy, but not a cloud in the sky over Gosport right now. Russell Marmon still seeking his first win of this campaign, and having finished second in Heat 1, he's looking good again in Heat 2. Joseph Harvey looks like he could be on for his best finish of the campaign so far. Richard Rowe of the 250s clearly revelling in the choppy waters as he leads his class once again. And Russell Marmon will take the win, his first of the campaign and the third different victor we've had in 300 so far this season. It's as you were in 200, with Dave Lee making it 2 wins out of 2 in Gosport, and the same can be said for Richard Rowe in the 250 category. In 300, it's Phil Pope in third. Joseph Harvey takes his best result of the campaign by finishing second. First place goes to Russell Marmon.
Well, how about that for a first day here in Gosport? And with these conditions, well, that really gave the best riders a chance to show their class. Join us tomorrow when we come back for day 2. Welcome back to day 2 here in Gosport for the second round of the Aquacross Championship. We've woken up this morning, Georgie, with some pretty inclement weather, it's fair to say.
It is. It's rainy and windy.
But the conditions weren't all that flat out there yesterday for the racing that we did see.
No, they weren't. And it was a beautiful sunny day, but things really mixed up in the 300 class. Phil Pope, who was such a strong contender in Scarborough and obviously reigning champion, isn't even on podium position at the moment. He's in at 4th. Russell Marmon is leading the way, which is really exciting. But we also had an incredible result from Chris Leach, who came out in 1st place on the first race.
Yeah, Chris, great result from him. He's been in Aquacross as long as I have. I've seen him race 200s, 250s, a top step at the podium there in the 300s yesterday. Well pleased with him for that. Richard Rowe and Damien Evans, the Wales lads in the 250. Richard took 2 first places yesterday. Good turnout from those boys as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. It is really all to play for today, and we'll see if Phil can, climb that podium.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, of course, whichever class you're running here at Aquacross, it is a stock racing series. So passing a technical inspection pre and post race is mandatory, as Georgie's been finding out.
This is Jim, he's part of the setup team. Jim, what sort of checks do you have to do on the jet skis before you head out?
We have a technical team, obviously. Pete and Brian do all our technical stuff, and the guys have to check the safety and the validity of the skis. So in other words, the safety is in the morning, so we check to make sure that everything is functioning properly and the skis are safe to go on the water, so people don't crash and don't have accidents, that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. Do you want to show us some of the checks you get up to?
So obviously post-tech, as I said again, but safety, you're checking things like these grips. I mean, these skis go 70 miles an hour, so the last thing you want is one of these to be loose. Yeah. If that grip's to come off in your hand, the rider would spill and it could get run over by the following rider, so that's all very, very important. Things like the throttle lever, that's got to make sure that moves freely and returns freely, all that sort of thing. Once the engine's been started with this little button here, we fire the engine up and check the stop button to make sure that the machine will stop if it needs to stop. So again, just like a car ignition, making sure it switches on and off. Yeah. Big safety issue, obviously if the rider spills, got to make sure that actually stops the engine so the ski doesn't become a hazard to other people and the public. Yeah. And then going round the ski, we're checking for all sharp edges, and these little things here, these are called sponsons. They are what help steer and turn the ski. Right. And you have to just check that they're not too sharp on the edge. Some people sharpen them up. Because if you were in the water and you got run over, because a jet ski doesn't have an impeller, they're relatively safe. Yeah. But of course, if they've got a sharp edge, it becomes like a razor blade. And under the seat here is the engine, so we just check the fuel lines, the battery lines, make sure that everything's secure and stable before they go on the water. So that's that.
Another part of the Aquacross weekends are the awesome freestyle display done by these guys, Lee Stone and Jason Bleasdale. Lee, the stuff you do out there is pretty incredible. How much training do you have to do for it?
Both on and off the water. I like to train on the water at least 6 days a week. Pretty much 7 days a week I'm working on the skis, modifying them to try and find new ways to do new tricks. So, you know, it does take over your life and it's a full-time job.
That's incredible. Jason, if someone was interested in getting involved in this, it's quite a unique thing. How do they go about doing it?
And the best way really is just to go along to your local lake or your local slipway down near the coast, and you'll see a stand-up rider there, and he'll know some freestyle tricks, and he'll show you the way, tell you where to go to get some tuition and put you in the right steps.
And the conditions today, as we can see, are a little bit windy, a bit choppier. Does that make a difference to what you do?
Yeah, the wind conditions and the water is quite difficult for us today with it being choppy. A lot of people think it's good for freestyle with it being small waves, but for us it's ideal for it to be flat so we can create our own wave. We know where it is, we know how high it's going to be, and we know what speed we can hit it. So when it's choppy like this, it's a little bit difficult, it's unpredictable, but you know, it's all good fun, and hopefully we're going to put another good show on today.
Absolutely. What's the trickiest trick that you have?
There's quite a few at the moment. The sport's kind of revolving kind of the way freestyle motocross is doing no-footed backflips, heel kicker backflips and things like that. So I guess the backflips where you're taking both feet out as well are, you know, it's a dangerous trick. And
That sounds quite difficult. No feet involved at all. Well, I can't wait to see you out there today. Thanks so much, guys. Championships though. Here's Chris Leach over here. He came first in yesterday's first 300 race. Chris, a huge congratulations. That's the first time you've come top of the leaderboard 300.
Yeah, it was a tough race. Really pleased with the first. Never done it before. So obviously tough competition with them too, Phil and
Absolutely.
Russell.
Well, Phil is obviously took home the championship last year and did incredibly well in Scarborough. What happened out there yesterday?
To be fair, this is our sort of local training ground, and I train a lot with Russell anyway. So it's our ground, so we practice on it. So it helped a lot.
Well, the Mighty Moment is back. What an incredible weekend you've had. Are you excited about to go back onto the water again?
Not really. Not on a day like this anyway. It's just a British summer. It's great, isn't it?
I know.
But no, it's the same conditions for everybody. So, you know, you just go out there, do your best. The main thing here is not to make a mistake, not to go flat out, keep on your ski, don't miss a buoy, and really just hold it together.
Richard, you're about to go out again. It is incredibly rough out there today, isn't it? How are you feeling about it?
Yeah, it's a bit rougher than yesterday by the look of it, so yeah, it should be enjoyable.
Huge congratulations. First from yesterday's two races, beating Adrian. How are you feeling about it today?
Well, I'm glad to pull back some points. Had a few technical problems in Scarborough, so
oh, really?
Yeah, I'm glad to pull back a few points and hoping to go back out and do it again today.
Conditions much tougher for this, the third and final P1 AquaX heat of the Gosport Grand Prix of the Sea. The blue skies of the previous day are now just a memory. Despite the testing waters, it doesn't stop the riders pushing hard across the surface. Having failed to win the previous two heats, Phil Pope looked to be back to his best in this one. (131) is Steve Hockney of the 300 class. Phil Pope was on a charge, the 300 championship leader determined to get back to winning ways and preserve his status at the top of the overall leaderboard. He was certainly pushing hard, determined to go to the next round at Hull with a win under his belt from this round. His nearest challenger today was Heat 2 winner, Russell Marmon. Further back in the same class, and Joseph Harvey and Chris Leach squabbling over third position. With Chris Leach taking a win and then Russell Marmon achieving the same feat in race 2, it was now Phil Pope's turn to pass the flag first and make it 3 different class winners in the 300 category this weekend. Results time, and Dave Lee made it a hat-trick of wins in the 200 class, while Richard Rowe was beaten to top spot by Damien Evan in 250. Confirmation that Phil Pope is triumphant in the 300 class, and that means he has now won 4 of the 6 heats in this category this season. Championship standings, and Dave Lee, Adrian Wilson and Phil Pope are the 3 class points leaders going into the next round of the championship.
So Dave, huge congratulations there, taking the top spot.
Yeah, repeat performance to Scarborough basically, you know, 3 wins there, 3 wins here. What can I say? I mean, to be honest, a lot of riders were saying, oh, I wouldn't go out in that, but I love that, and knowing we got the safety crew keeping an eye on us made all the difference.
So Richard, huge congratulations, a dominant weekend for you, and you took the top step of the podium.
Yeah, it was awesome. Cracking out there, cracking conditions. The last race was really hard, so yeah, I'm happy to just finish that one and take the win.
So Russell, huge congratulations. It was difficult conditions out there, but you're no stranger to difficult racing, and you took the top honours.
Yeah, it was pretty tough out there today. I mean, the silent always blows up. It's just the English weather in the summer here. It's just so unpredictable. So I can't say it's like I particularly like it rough like this, but you know, it's the same for everyone. So you just ride your own ability and try not to make any mistakes. That's the main thing.
So there we go, another weekend's aquacross racing comes to a close, and Georgie, it was an exciting weekend, but boy did the weather play its part.
It really did. It was choppy out there, and some skis just fare better when it's rougher, some don't.
That's the way it goes. Join us next time then, when the whole road show, truck and all, myself and Georgie, heads to Hull. We'll see you there.
Bye.